my lovelies. Welcome to your Taurus yoga class. My name is Natasha, also known as Nourish Natasha. If you're new here, welcome. If you're old here, welcome back. Before we get started, make sure, as always, you have any props you need for your practice with you. I have my blocks here. You can have your strap, bolster, pillow, blanket, blocks, whatever you need for your practice to make it your own. Remember that everything I say is an option, not an order, and I will try to offer as many variations I can to make this class as accessible for all bodies as I possibly can. This is our Taurus class, so this is an astrology zodiac series, so make sure you check your sun, moon, rising, and Venus. Those are kind of our big four. I know we always think of a big three, but there is a big four. Or check if you have a stellium, so if you have 3 or more planets in a certain sign, that's your stellium. Maybe check out that class, or you can just do all of them if you're feeling it. Do what works best for you. I love my Tauruses. I feel like I love earth signs are my favorite. I don't know if they kind of balance out my water and fire heavy chart, but I love my earth signs. I have a ton of friends that are Tauruses. Our Tauruses, they are the bull. They are ruled by the planet Venus. They actually share Venus with Libra, I believe. The dates are roughly April 20th to May 20th. Again, that's just a rough kind of, it changes year to year. Taurus in tarot rules the Hierophant, which I was like, I feel like the Hierophant is kind of, he's very based in tradition and very like kind of structured. They call the Hierophant the Pope of the tarot deck. And at first I was like, man, I don't really see how that relates to Taurus. And then I was like, wait, no, I get it, because the Hierophant is kind of stuck in their ways, just as Taurus is. I don't mean that as a shade, it's just how it is. Taurus is known for kind of being the bull. They're stubborn, they're stuck in their ways, they like what they like, and that's what I love about them, honestly. Again, with the ruling planet being Venus, it's kind of like Venus is love and indulgence and the finer things of life, the luxurious things. That's what a Taurus is all about. Now, that's not necessarily to say that a Taurus likes like the richer, extravagant things, but they like their creature comforts. They know what food they like, they know what things they like, they know what they like to do, and they're stuck in that. They like that and they're gonna do it, and I think that's why I love Tauruses so much. Tauruses, in my experience, are very loyal, they're strong, they're so true to themselves because they are so kind of stuck in their ways. They're very authentic. This is just my personal experience with Tauruses. Of course, the kind of dark side of Tauruses, they can be a little stubborn. I don't want to say lazy, but just a little they like to sleep, they like to eat, which same, I like to too. And again, this is not to say anything negative about any sign. I'm just giving you the traits of the signs as I will for every sign. I love Tauruses. I love them so much. I have lots of Taurus friends. So what does Taurus rule in the body? That is kind of what we're focusing and centering these classes around, is what Tauruses rule, or what the signs rule in the body. My dog Jack's very excited about it. Taurus rules your sinuses, your ears, your neck, your throat, your vocal cords. So all this stuff kind of in here. Now, if you remember, if you've done the Aries class, Aries kind of rules the head, the face, the blood, the arteries, and we kind of, as we go through the astrological wheel, we kind of move down the body. And there's a couple of random ones, but that's what I'm kind of basing these yoga classes in, is what body parts does the zodiac sign rule. So Taurus rules all of this. So because Taurus rules the sinuses, we are going to start with a certain kind of pranayama, breath work, breath control, called Nitty breath. This is our alternate nostril breathing. This is going to get you to tap into those sinuses. Now, it's spring, my allergies are really bad, so if you're like me, this might get some stuff flowing. You might feel a little phlegmy, have some tissue with you, but that's how we're going to get started. So, my lovely Tauruses, find yourself on your mat in a seated position, whatever seat is comfortable for you. I'm kind of in like what I like to call a lazy lotus here. They call it easy seated pose, but we know that that's not true for everybody, right? There's a different easy seated pose for everybody. So I want you to find what easy seated pose means for you and your body. So maybe you sit on a pillow, maybe a block, a bolster, maybe you want legs extended, maybe you want legs crossed. Take a second to kind of feel out what feels best for you. Take a moment to scoot some goodness out from underneath you so you can feel those sit bones on the mat. And once you're here, just get settled in. You can have your palms facing down to tap into this grounded Earth Taurus energy. We're just going to take a moment to come to our spaces and come to our mats, and then we'll work on our alternate nostril breathing. So right now, I just want you to bring awareness to your breath. I don't want you to change anything about it. I just want you to notice as it goes in and out. Maybe on the inhale, you raise the shoulders, you feel the chest open up, the belly expand, taking up space. And on the exhale, finding a release. I want you to deepen and lengthen these inhales and exhales. And just start to take inventory here of the mind, the body, the soul. And really tap into what makes you a Taurus. So think about what placement your Taurus is in, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, any of the planets. And think about the Taurus traits that you find that you have. How do you tap into your Taurus energy? In the mind, the body, the soul. And we're just acknowledging these things. Again, you know, each sign, every sign has quote unquote good, bad traits. I don't want you to judge yourself for anything or think that anything is negative, positive. We're neutral. They're just things. We're just acknowledging them. We're noticing them. We're aware of them. And we're just tapping into that energy. Continue to breathe here. And when you're ready, you can gently open your eyes if they were closed. You're going to lift your right hand, or you can do your left hand, whatever feels right and good for you in your body. I'm demoing with my right hand. Now our Nadi Shodhana breath, you're going to take your thumb and either your middle or your ring finger, and you're going to bring those to your nostrils. So your thumb is going to cover up one nostril. Your ring or middle finger is going to cover up the other. I have to do my middle finger because these nails and my hands are very small. And you can hear when I plug up my nose, it's going to sound a little nasally. This is what we want. Now take a second to just kind of breathe normally. I'm going to instruct you through this. It's going to take a few rounds to kind of get it right. But we're essentially breathing in through one nostril, out the other, in through that one, out the other. I know it sounds complicated, but just listen to my voice. So we're starting with both plugged up. I want you to lift your thumb off of your nostril. So one nostril is open. I want you to inhale in through that nostril. Plug it up. Open the other nostril and exhale out. Inhale in through that nostril. Plug it up. Open the other. Exhale. Inhale in. Plug it up. Exhale out the other. Inhale in. Plug it up. Exhale out the other. Inhale in. Plug it up. Exhale out the other. Inhale in. Plug it up. Exhale out the other. Last one. Inhale in. Plug it up. Exhale out the other. Go ahead and release your hand down. And take a big deep breath for me. Really big inhale in. And open mouth, exhale. Now, I don't know about you, lovelies, but my nose definitely feels a little bit more clear. Make sure you grab a tissue, clean up if you need to. And let your breath return to a normal pace. In and out, however feels comfortable. How'd that feel? A little different sort of breath for you. I love Nadi Shodhana breath. It's, again, great for cleaning the sinuses. It is very amazing if you have anxiety. It kind of regulates the nervous system, gives you something to focus on. So I highly recommend keeping that in your back pocket. Now, if your legs are crossed, I want you to just take a moment to uncross them and then cross them the other way, just so we're evened out. And we're going to work on this throat and the neck here for our lovely Tauruses. So we're staying seated. All I want you to do here is start to shake your head no, really slowly. We're really exaggerated. Shaking your head from side to side. And you can, if you'd like here, say no to anything that you don't want or that doesn't serve you. I know my Tauruses, you're very in tune with what you don't want and what you want. So say no to what you don't want here. Or maybe say no, I'm not gonna block my blessings from the universe. I'm not going to hold on to my limiting beliefs anymore. Whatever you want to say no to here. Say it out loud again. Taurus rules the vocal cords, that throat chakra. Say it out loud. And now come back to center. I want you to drop that chin to your chest. And now nod your head yes. So really lifting the chin, dropping the head back, and then dropping it forward. So very slowly, very exaggerated nod of the head. And whatever you want to say yes to, say yes here. So it can be things you already like, things that you want to always say yes to, or maybe invite in new things. Yes, I'm going to open myself up to receive good things. Yes, my manifestations will come through. Whatever you want to say yes to, do so here. And the next time your chin is down to your chest, I want you to hold it there. You're going to take your hands, interlace your fingers, and you're going to bring that bind to the back of your neck, right where your skull meets your spine, so that cervical spine. I don't want you to pull. I just want you to let gravity do its thing here. Stretching out the back of that neck. Go ahead and gently release, keeping the fingers interlaced. I want you to bring the backs of the hands now to right underneath the chin, and inhale, lift that chin, open the elbows, press that chin up, open the throat. Dropping the head back. Inhale here, exhale, release. Now what I want you to do is just kind of like bend your head from side to side, so bringing right ear to right shoulder, and then left ear to left shoulder. Just getting into the sides of the neck here. If it feels really good in one spot, you can kind of hold it there. And then go ahead and take it into some full head or neck rolls. So taking your head in kind of a circle around your neck. So dropping forward, chin to chest, right ear, right shoulder, head drops back, over to the left. You can inhale as you come through center, and exhale as you drop the head back. And the next time you come through center, chin to chest, go ahead and take it in the opposite direction. And you can go fast or slow, whatever feels good for you and your body here. Just rolling that head. Lift your left shoulder, dropping the head back, right ear, right shoulder, and then coming forward. And go ahead and finish up this last one. And just release, allow yourself to come back to neutral, kind of see how you feel here. Neck is nice and loose here. We're opening up the throat, and we're gently going to transition to our tabletop. So I want you to take your time here, just shifting slowly to your hands and knees. So you're coming to those hands and knees, shoulder, elbow, wrist are stacked, hips are stacked over the knees. We're going to go right into our cat-cow here, and I really want you to focus on opening the throat. So when you inhale, for your cow, you're really going to lift that chin, arch the back, open the chest. Just really lift that chin to open the throat. Then you're going to exhale for your cat. You're going to round, drop the chin to chest, dome out the shoulders. Inhale, really open. And exhale, really curl it in. Now continue these cat-cows on your own breath, linking your breath to your movement, and do what feels good here. So if you want to rock from side to side, if you want to take some full body circles, like I said, you lovely Tauruses know what you want. So I want you to do what you want. I want you to do what feels good. Just do about 5 more breaths here, linking breath to movement and doing what feels right. Finishing this last round up, gently coming back to your neutral tabletop. Now what I want you to do here is we're going to come to a puppy pose. So we're going to really kind of open the throat, the neck here. So you're staying with your hips stacked over your knees. And you're going to walk your hands out and drop your chest and your chin to the mat. So you're going to feel that neck, that throat, those shoulders open real fast. If this feels like a little too much, maybe you feel crunched into your neck, what I want you to do is take your child's pose, but keep your chin on the mat instead of your forehead. So 2 options here. One is child's pose from the chin with your gaze lifted. Option 2 is this puppy pose. Again, chin on the mat, gaze lifted towards your hands, really opening that throat, that neck. And you're going to breathe here. Take a nice big inhale here for me. Exhale, sliding all the way down to your belly. And gently come to your forearms to a Sphinx pose. So my forearms and hands are pressed into the mat. My head, chest, and shoulder are lifted. You really want to press the shoulders down and away from the ears. And again, really emphasizing the lift of the chin here. Now you can shake your head from side to side. Get into this neck here. Go ahead and come back to stillness. Now option here to stay right here, or option if you'd like to take a high cobra, you're going to press into the hands, straighten the arms, and you're going to start to walk these hands back nice and slow for me, keeping chin lifted, keeping shoulders pressed down from the ears until you walk them all the way back into a high cobra. Now your hips and pelvis are pressed into the mat, shoulders are pressed down and away from the ears, lift the chin, gaze up. Inhale here, exhale, we're all going to find our child's pose, widening the knees, sinking those hips back to the heels, and just find this gentle child's pose here. You don't have to gaze up to your hands if you don't want to, if that didn't feel good. Just let your forehead rest on the mat. And I really want you to tap into the grounding energy here in this child's pose. Taurus is an earth sign. Taurus is very grounded. So take a moment here as you breathe in your child's pose to notice every part of you that's touching the mat. Maybe lift up all 10 fingers, release them back down to the mat. Feel that mat beneath your fingertips. With every inhale you fill up, you take up space. And with every exhale, you maybe sink deeper into the mat. Deeper into that grounding. It's another thing I love about Tauruses. They're so grounded. When you're ready on your next inhale, gently rise to your tabletop. And we will find our downward facing dog. So go ahead and tuck those toes, bring those hips up and back to the wall behind you. Find that downward dog for me. Take a second here just to find some movement. So maybe pedaling the feet, maybe shaking the hips, shaking the head. Really pressing palms down into the mat. Lifting the hips, pressing chest towards the thighs. Go ahead and find stillness for me. Inhale, gaze to the top of the mat. Exhale, travel into a forward fold. So maybe some baby steps, maybe some big old steps. Come into this forward fold. Feet can be hips distance or wider, wherever it feels right and good for you to honor and make space for the thighs and belly. And I just want you to ragdoll here. Maybe grab opposite elbows. Maybe sway from side to side. And go ahead and come to stillness. Bring hands to shins or to the blocks. Press into them. Inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, gently rise to standing. Exhale those hands to your heart center. Take a moment here. Now in our Tadasana Mountain Pose, we are grounded here by our feet. So tap into that grounding energy again for a moment. Maybe lift up all 10 toes and bring them back down to the mat. We'll seal this with a breath. Take a big inhale in. And open mouth, exhale. All right, my lovelies, we're going to flow through a little half sun salute here with some throat opening action. So we're going to do this 3 times, starting standing at the top of your mat. In our Tadasana Mountain Pose, hands are at your sides. I want you to inhale those arms up. Interlace the fingers. Exhale, bring them down. You're going to bring them underneath the chin. Inhale, lift the chin, find that throat opener like we did earlier. And then exhale, release and fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come to standing. Exhale, hands to heart. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, interlace, bring them underneath your chin. Inhale, press the chin up, open the throat. Exhale, release and fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale to standing. Exhale, hands to heart. Last one, inhale, reach. Exhale, interlace the fingers. Inhale, throat opener. Exhale, release and fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale to standing. Exhale, hands to your heart. All right. We're going to continue to tap into this throat, neck, Taurus energy. So we're going to come to stand at the top of our mats. We're going to flow through some lunges, some Anjaliasanas here, and we're going to incorporate those throat openers. So you can take these from a vinyasa if you choose, if that's in your practice. I'm going to take mine from standing. So standing at the top of my mat, I'm going to bring my right foot to center, and I'm going to step my left foot back into a high crescent lunge. So I'm stepping deeply back, a little bit wider than a warrior 1. My right knee is bending over ankle. I'm on the ball of my back foot, and I'm going to square off my torso, my hips, my chest to the front of the mat. Once I feel solid here in my base, I feel grounded here in my base, I'm going to inhale my arms up. Breathe here for a moment. And then I want you to bring those hands down, interlacing the fingers like we did, bringing it to the bottom of your chin. You're going to inhale, lift the chin, open the throat. Exhale, release. Try to keep the integrity of this lunge. Inhale, open. Exhale, release. Last one, inhale, open, really lift that chin. Exhale, release. Inhale, you can raise those arms back up. And exhale, just step back to the top of your mat, shake it on out. All right, we'll take that to the other side. Hands are coming to hips. Left foot comes center now. Stepping right foot back into my high crescent lunge. Again, I'm setting myself up here with my base. Strong, stable base. Front knees over ankle. On the ball of the back foot, square off here. Inhale, arms up. Find your breath. And then go ahead and interlace those fingers, bring it underneath the chin. Inhale, open the throat. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift and open. Exhale, release. Last one, lift and open. Exhale, release. Inhale those arms up. Exhale, step back to the top of your mat. Shake it out for me. All right, we're gonna take it on down to the mat. We're gonna do the same thing in a low lunge. So I want you to inhale those arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, plant the hands, just very gently step back one foot, maybe the other, grab some water. Every time I work on the throat, I feel like my throat gets like dry. All right, so we're going to come to our knees. Now you can place a pillow or a blanket underneath those knees for that extra support. I'm gonna bring my blocks with me. Coming to stand on my knees. I'm gonna step my right leg out to my low lunge. So my right knee goes over my ankle. I'm pressing this left hip flexor down. You can bring either hand to the blocks or to the mat on either side of the foot. Keep the chest lifted. Option to stay here. Option to lift to that thigh. So you're lifting your hands to your right thigh. Or option to inhale those arms up. Now wherever you're at, I really want you to focus on lifting that chin, opening the throat. Now option here to flow through those throat openers, so interlace the fingers, bring it underneath the chin. Inhale, push that chin up, open the throat. Exhale, release for a moment. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. Last one, inhale, lift. Exhale, release. You can inhale here. Exhale, bring those hands down to the mat or to the blocks. Walk them back a little and straighten that front leg for a half split to counter pose here. So I'm straightening my front right leg. I'm flexing my toes back towards my face. Again, I'm keeping my chest lifted. Finding this half splits. And gently, when you're ready, come back to your low lunge. Press hands into the mat or into the blocks. And just step that right foot gently back. All right, we will take it to the other side. So coming to stand on your knees. I'm stepping my left leg out now. Bending into it. Coming to my low lunge. Hands on either side of the foot, either on the blocks or on the mat. You can stay here. You can lift up to the thigh. You can inhale those arms up wherever you're at, lifting the chest, opening the chin, opening the throat. Now again, option here to flow through that throat opener. Interlace the fingers, bring it under the chin, inhale, lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, last one, lift. Exhale, release. Inhale here. Exhale, hands come to the blocks or to the mat. Straighten that front leg. Flex those left toes back towards your face. Find your half splits. And breathe here for a moment in this counter pose. All right, kind of gently come back to your low lunge, press into the hands, and just scoot that left foot on back. Now, we're gonna play around with Camel Pose here. This is a big old throat opener, big old heart opener, so I'm gonna give you lots of options. So, you're staying on your knees. Again, if you need that support on your knees, maybe a pillow, maybe a blanket, place it under there. You can also keep your blocks here with you. So option one, you're going to come to stand on your knees. You're going to bring your hands to your low back, right where your hips meet your low back. I have this pretty deep crevice here, so I kind of set my hands there. I'm going to squeeze my shoulder blades back, squeezing my elbows in behind me. Inhale here, exhale, press the hips forward, press the chest forward and open, and then start to lift the chin and drop the head back, gazing behind you. Breathe here again, really trying to lift that chin. Now you're going to inhale very slowly, very gently, rise, and exhale, release. We want to do that slowly because it's very easy to get a head rush when you're coming out of that pose. So take your time with it. Now that's option one, that's variation one. If that already felt like pretty good for you, you're like, okay, I kind of want to play around with this, want to stay here, I want you to stay there. I'm going to give you two more options. Option two, we're going to bring the hands to the heart in prayer. Same concept here. We're going to inhale here, exhale, press those hips forward, open the chest, lift the chin, and then option to extend those arms overhead. Again, really focus on lifting that chin and gazing back, pressing the hips forward. Now again, when we rise, we do so very slowly, very controlled, and then we exhale, release. That's option number two. So stay there if that feels good. The last option, you can use your blocks, you can use your feet. So I guess it's kind of a lot of options in one, but we're essentially going for that full expression of the camel pose. So again, tons of options here. Option one, you can keep the feet bottoms lower to the mat and use your blocks here. So you're going to reach for your blocks. You can either put them on the inside or the outside of the feet, and you're going to reach for those. Option two is you're going to tuck those toes and come to the heels. This is where I go because it kind of lifts my heels enough, like as if I was reaching for a block. Or last option is keeping the feet flat and reaching for the heels. I have very short arms, so it's very hard for me to reach those heels. So I'm going to keep my feet lifted. Again, you can use your blocks if you'd like a little bit of extra height. Now we're going to start the same way. And again, you can stick with variation one, you can stick with variation two, or you can play around with me here. I'm going to start as I did with my first variation, so bringing my hands to that kind of crevice where my hips meet my spine. I'm going to squeeze my shoulders and my elbows behind me. I'm going to inhale here, exhale, start to press the hips forward. Lift the chest, open the chest, lift the chin, open the throat, and gaze back. Now this is where the option to reach for my heels comes in. Here, or again, reaching for blocks. Or again, reaching for heels with your feet lowered. Yeah. Nope, not gonna happen. That's okay, because I have very, very short arms and a very, very tight chest. I'm honoring my body by keeping my heels lifted. Wherever you're at, I want you to lift the chin, press the hips forward, open the chest. And when you're ready to come out, you're going to do so very, very, very slowly. And release on down for me. How'd that feel? How'd that feel, my lovely Tauruses? All right, we got to counter pose that. That was an intense heart opener, intense throat opener. So when you're ready, we're going to meet in child's pose. You can bring those knees as wide as the mat, sink those hips down to the heels, and go ahead and lower into your child's pose. Now again, when you're here, when you're sinking down into your child's pose, I want you to tap into this grounding energy. Maybe lift up all 10 fingers, lower them down to the mat. With every exhale, feel yourself sink deeper. And I want you to bring it back to your breath. And I want you to think about what makes me a Taurus. How do I like to tap into Taurus energy? It can be different for everyone. As much as, when we are the same zodiac sign, as much as we are similar, the energy can also show up in different ways for different people. I think that's what people forget about astrology, is it's not saying that every Taurus is exactly the same, but it's the same energy represented in different ways. When you're ready, gently inhale, rise for just a second, and then exhale, lower down to your belly. Take your time here. You can cross your forearms in front of you. You can rest either your chin or your forehead on the forearms. And I just want you to kind of rock your hips back and forth here. Releasing some of that stuff. When we did our Camel Pose, it's a little intense on the low back. Just releasing it here. Now I want you to bend your knees in, so you're kind of almost like kicking yourself in the butt, and then drop your legs from side to side. So like your windshield wipering out the legs. Again, just a little low back release here for us. And go ahead and gently release. Now we're going to turn on over to our backs. Take your time to just roll on over for me. Come into your back. Now we are going to take some bridge poses here. So I want you to bend into the knees, bring feet bottoms to the mat, heels as close up to your butt as you can get them. Hands can come down to the sides. Palms pressing down, so again, tapping into that grounding energy. I want you to inhale, lift the hips, press that pelvis up towards the sky. Make sure those knees don't splay out, keeping the knees in line with the hips. Inhale, lift and squeeze. Exhale, release down one vertebrae at a time. Windshield wiper those legs. We're going to do that 2 more times. Bring the knees to stillness. Inhale, press those hips up again. Maybe press those hands into the mat. Feel that grounding energy. You can feel those fingers and toes on the mat. Inhale, lift and squeeze. Exhale, release slowly. Windshield wiper the knees. Last time here. Come to stillness. Inhale, lift that pelvis, press those hips up. Maybe as high as you can get it this time. Really pressing those hands into the mat. Really lift those hips. Inhale, a little more squeeze for me. Exhale, release one vertebrae at a time. Windshield wiper those legs. All right. You can come to stillness. Bring your arms out to a T position. Draw those knees into your chest. Inhale here. Exhale. Drop them over to the right. Maybe gaze over the left shoulder. You can use this right hand to encourage those legs down. And breathe into this twist. Breathe into this release. Again, maybe take a moment to tap into your earth energy, your grounding energy, by just feeling the mat gently beneath you. Noticing every part of you that's touching the mat. Tauruses are strong, grounded, loyal, authentic. You know what you want, you know what you like. Take a moment to celebrate those lovely aspects of you and your sign. Inhale, gently come to center. Exhale, knees drop over to the other side. Maybe gaze over the right. shoulder. And just breathe here for me. Inhale, gently everything comes back to center. And exhale, we can release and find our Savasana. If there's any final pose you'd like to take, please be my guest and go there. If not, we're going to take our full Savasana, our corpse pose on the mat. Now, if you're like me and you have a lot of goodness, and you made a big old booty, we're going to take a second to press into the feet, tuck those hips under so your low back touches the mat, and then extend the legs out. This kind of gets rid of that gap between our low back and the mat just a bit. If you struggle with low back pain, I want you to take up space on your mat. You can bring those palms facing down. You can close your eyes if it feels good for you. And again, I just want you to think about here, what makes me a Taurus? What traits do you relate to in a Taurus? Don't mind my feet rubbing against the floor. For me, the Taurus energy that's coming through is slow and steady wins the race, right? Like, that's what Tauruses are all about, and they come out successful because of it. So just think about those traits that make you a Taurus as you breathe here in your Savasana. This is where I will leave you, my lovelies. Stay here for at least 5 to 10 breaths in this grounding energy. Don't forget to check out your other signs, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. I will see you next time, my lovely Tauruses. Have a wonderful day.